Hello there, JW Strugglers. We are doing another interview, and it is so fun to be able to do these. I am blessed to be able to meet people from all over the place and talk to these fine folks about their experiences. And Marcus, thank you for coming on the channel today.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, so Marcus is taking some time out. We're taking some time out to talk about his experiences. Marcus has a different viewpoint than me. For example, I'm getting old. I'm in my 40s. Marcus looks like you're a little bit younger. You've seen a different side of things, and that's why I want to do this. And I appreciate you being willing to talk about your story because some of these things, when we get out of the witnesses, when we get out of that mindset, it's difficult. It's hard. And I want to
hmm
thank you for sharing some of these hard stories with us today. Marcus, you grew up around the witnesses then?
Yes, pretty much my whole life, pretty much up until birth, until I turned 21. I've been around my witnesses my whole life, basically. My mother, she started studying
Hmm.
when she was pregnant with me, and about a year later, she got baptized. So, basically from birth, I was raised up. I never knew my father, so it's just me and my mother and the witnesses.
Right. And you guys were good examples. You went door knocking, you went to assemblies, you did all that stuff.
Oh yes, I remember the long 3 day conventions and waking up extra early to get out and street witnessing, and then regular witnessing. And oh yeah, we were good witnesses. We went to all of our meetings. I mean, unless we were
Wow. Wow.
sick and contagious.
And I tell you what, your mom sounds like she was probably a hardworking lady because to be a single mom and to do all that, that's saying something because there's so many of
Yeah.
these witness parents, witness single parents like moms that they work tirelessly to try to follow the club and all the club
hmm
rules, all the club program. Jehovah's Witnesses are sometimes so exhausted and worn out over all of that stuff. Isn't it true? So,
hmm
Marcus, you had said to me earlier that you were giving talks in the ministry school, but yet I wanted to ask you, was there something in your head telling you that you were worried about something or you didn't fit in with the rest of the witnesses? Was there something that made you kind of start waking up to the fact that this maybe wasn't the right fit for you?
Well, I mean, growing up, I was very. I mean, I think growing up, I was socially awkward from other witness kids.
Hmm.
Like, me giving talks up on the stage was basically I felt fake up there,
Hmm.
pretty much, to be honest with you. And I didn't have too many witness friends. So me getting along with them and understanding where they come from, because there were some witness kids that, were clear cut focus. They had a path, they were sticking to it, and I kind of wanted to derive from that. I always knew that there was something more. This just isn't the end.
Yeah.
But, then again, I had my mom in one ear, and if I found any kind of questions or, because that's not a good thing, because she always would call, she had the elders on speed dial to clear up any concerns that I had, maybe, or anything like that. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean,
Did now
yeah.
did they set up the some brother in the hall to have a Bible study with you and all of that?
Oh, yes. I had a regular Bible study with a couple different elders.
Hmm.
And, they would take me underneath their wing, basically, and I would go out and fill service. And, I did work my way up to becoming an unbaptized publisher. I was
Hmm.
10 years old and learning how to do, the sound and microphones. And, yeah.
Right. But you know what's interesting to me, Marcus, right now is the Watchtower, the company that owns this religion. The Watchtower is very worried because they're losing young people. The young people are not
hmm
staying in this religion. They're seeing that
Yeah.
it's too restrictive, it's too controlling, it's judgmental. There's a million and one rules, and they condemn a lot
hmm
of people's lifestyles, people's beliefs. If you believe something different or you want to live a different way, then they condemn you. And so they're losing the kids, and they're scrambling to try to indoctrinate them now. They're trying to get them,
Mm-hmm.
the witness kids are taking their tablets, their iPads to the meetings, and they have their whole watchtower up there now instead of the yellow highlighter pen, right?
Yeah.
So
Pretty much. Yeah.
was that something like you felt like they were trying? I mean, they were trying real hard to keep you in by showing you concern and love, but I mean, obviously it wasn't enough. What was it that made you became a teenager and then you started to question things or rebel or what?
I started to question things, and it wasn't until my late 20s. Well, not late 20s, early 20s, I would say. I was about 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. And, I started basically feeling restricted and closed-minded and just very in a box. And, you know, I was very depressed. I was very depressed and just very mean. Like, I just remember times me and my mom, we would have heated arguments and it would be over nothing, but it would be me trying to hide and cope with how I feel. And, you know, at that age, too, a lot of brothers and sisters, they were, getting married very young, because that's another thing. They get married very young, 20, 19 years old. So I had a lot of friends, getting married, and me and my feelings, because, I am gay. So me, wanting to find love. And, in my mind, I had it in my head, basically, because I knew, I felt as though Jehovah wasn't going to be happy about this. So therefore, I made up in my head that, I wasn't going to find love. And, I was just going to be a good witness and not do anything. And then I told myself, why? Just why? I'm into this on the stage. And then I started something they do not want you to do at all. They don't want you to go on YouTube and start researching other religions, and they don't want you to research the history. They want you to use their publications and do your research from there. And I said no. And I was very enlightened, I must say, to what I found.
Good for you. Good for you. So you started to think for yourself at that point. And then also you hit upon something about a lot of young people. There's pressure for the witnesses to get married. And was that something that you wanted to do? Did you want to marry? Did you have sisters that were wanting to meet you and that sort of thing?
um, Not typically. I was mostly friends with all the sisters. But I knew in my head I wanted to marry a man. But then I was in, with the witnesses still. So that is a no-no, basically.
So there it is. You did not want to be, you know, the kind of witness that you're forced to be. They don't allow you
Mm-hmm.
to live your own life and express yourself. And look, this is the way that God made you. If you're
Right.
born that way, we all grow up being told that this is such a horrible thing, and there's jokes made about it. And,
Mm-hmm.
I know for myself, Marcus, when I came out of the witnesses in my mind, it was about 4 years ago that I got away and cleared my head. I got DF 2 years, a
Mm-hmm.
little over 2 years ago, and it's been great for me. But I've started to realize it don't make any difference if we want to marry, who we want to marry, who we want to love. We can still love God. We can still love ourselves. We can be a good person. We don't have to judge anybody anymore. And for me, it was very freeing to realize that. And
Oh,
and
yeah.
here you are. You need to love yourself. You need to take care of yourself, as we all do. And I would
Mm-hmm.
imagine that was a difficult struggle.
Oh, yeah, because at first, being out, I had support from my older brother, but it was always me and my mother.
Hmm.
Always. We were like this,
Hmm.
honestly. So to not have her there, and to see just how quick she cut everything off and basically disassociated herself from me after, the whole announcement and everything. That's what hurt so much, And, I'll admit I've been there. I've been down the downward spiral before. I've had the suicidal thoughts at times.
Mm.
I've had points of homelessness.
Oh.
So, I've been through a lot of different things that, quote unquote, the witnesses say you'll go through if you leave Jehovah and turn your back on them. But through it all, I don't have any regrets. That's the thing. Because I'm in a happy place right now. I'm in a healthy relationship. I have the support of his family. I have great friends that have become family and are in support of me. And every day it gets easier and better. I mean, you may hit rock bottom, but, funny thing that they say, when you hit rock bottom, there's only one way you have to get back up.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep moving, and every day I get stronger, and every day I just start to love life more and learn new things. I'm learning about myself still. I'm learning about what I like and what I don't like, and having the freedom to do certain things, like how cut my hair any kind of way or grow a beard, or I can do whatever I want now, basically.
I am just so tickled. I am so happy that you're sharing this with me. This is making me get choked up because it is because here you have a success story right here with you, Marcus. You are finding happiness. You're finding peace. You're just a regular person, and you're part of the human condition. We're all in the same team.
Right.
We're all trying to make our lives and the people around us better. We're trying to leave the world to be a better place. And it's beautiful that you're finding that. If it's okay with you, I would like to ask you though, Marcus, when you told your mom, how did that go? I mean, if was there some back and forth there? I mean, did you talk to the elders?
um, well, when I told my mom and came out gay and all of that, my older brother was actually there. And the funny thing about everything is she knew. She admitted that she said she knew this whole time. And, she said that she still loves me, but she wanted me to talk to the elders. And I was talking to her and I said, well, I really don't feel like talking to them anymore or anything or have any contact with them because I know at the end of the day what's going to happen because I don't plan on changing. I don't plan on hiding anything. But see, me at that time in that state of mind I was in, I was thinking, okay, maybe if I talk to them, I can still have some kind of relationship with her or we can work something out. Me wanting that little bit of hope, that glimmer that it might be okay. So I sat down with one elder that I was very close to. I saw him as a father figure at the time. And we were talking, and it started off great. Conversation was great. It's like old times. But then it started to get a bit dark, and he got very invasive and asking me questions about my sexual partners and were there any brothers that I was talking to at the same time or any other brother. He was trying to really find information about whether anybody else like me that in the congregation because, they got to keep that image up. Because here you have me just coming out gay. At the time I was an auxiliary pioneer. I was doing the microphones, the sound, and giving talks and all that. And basically the poster child for all witness brothers and how they should act. And then boom, he's gay. What do we do now? So I told him this conversation is over with, especially when he just started trying to dig real in. And I left, basically. I left her house. I walked away. My brother was outside in the car. I said, take me with you. I'm done. And it wasn't until 2 weeks later that I get a phone call from this brother and a couple other brothers, including the coordinator of elders
Mhm.
and one other brother. And they decided to basically disfellowship me over the phone. And then they made the announcement a week later, and that was it. So, yeah. I have to look. I think I have that conversation because they have a little timeline. I have to find it. I think I have a recording somewhere of the actual disfellowshipping
Oh
because
my.
I have to look for it. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But it was so I recorded it. I made sure I recorded it
Good for
because
you.
that was liberating to me.
Hmm.
That them saying Marcus Donald is no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses. That was such a heavy weight lifted off of me.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
was amazing.
Man, good for you. Good for you. I have encouraged people to do that, to record any of these conversations with these
Mm-hmm.
spiritual policemen, because for your own protection, for your own memory, help your memory remember. Wait, what
Right.
happened? Even if you never do anything else with it, you can go back and refer to that, and it can help you to work through that experience.
Mhm.
And that's smart. That's smart. But so, to me, it's ironic that you were never baptized. You were an unbaptized publisher, correct?
Oh, I did get baptized though eventually.
Oh, excuse me. I thought you said that you had just been an unbaptized
I was an
publisher.
unbaptized publisher when I was 10. I
Okay.
was 10 years old when I was unbaptized, but I became baptized when I was 16 actually.
Ah, okay.
So yeah.
So yeah, so they have to make that announcement. And then, did your mom and you said you have an older brother too? Is
Hmm.
he a witness as well?
Not at all.
Ah.
She tried to convert him, and by that time, because me and him are 10 years apart, so when I was born, he was already a bit older. So
Hmm.
by that time, he was, no.
Right.
He studied here and there and dabbled, but never got baptized, never went to meetings regularly or anything like
Well,
that.
lucky
So,
lucky him. So your older
right.
brother, you have him as a family connection there, and you talk with him, and but what about your mom? Will she take your calls, or can you talk to her or visit her?
Um, I had talked to her because I had moved recently back in May
Hmm.
to Delaware. So I had talked to her when I had moved, and it was a very short conversation. Hi, hello, why are you calling?
She said
And
why you're calling.
yes.
Oh.
And I just told her, I moved in with my boyfriend. I'm in Delaware. I'm okay. And I know we can't talk much, but I'm okay. And she said, well, I'm glad to hear that, and I hope you're happy. And bye. So basically, that was it. It's hard. That is, I've cried it out and I've talked it out and everything. I'm not mad at her because I know she's very heavily indoctrinated, and that whole organization, they love fear mongering basically, and they love to bait. And I know they probably put her up in a corner after I got disfellowshipped and was like no contact, because I can see it. I saw it in her eyes when I did come out. I saw that mother. I didn't see the religion or you know witness mom. I saw her,
Hmm.
but I know they talked to her in their ear, so I understand.
Hmm.
And I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at the religion. I
Hmm.
just hate the fact that religion has such a hold on people that they do. It's to the point where she has an insurance policy and she's left it to the witnesses.
Hmm.
A life insurance policy to the witnesses. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, if that's it's really sad but true, Marcus, that
but
yeah. That if I was just going to
it
say that
is.
if the witness person, if their children become worldly, then a lot of times they do that, and then they leave it to Watchtower, and it's crazy, but like you said, it's part of that indoctrination, and her cult self
Right.
is superseding her true self, which
I,
that
I
of
know
being that loving
she
mom.
played. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, but I've grown, and I know, like I said, I've met friends, and I have new mamas. I have new brothers and sisters that are my friends and support me and love me. And I mean, they've been a big help, honestly. They have.
That's good. Now, do you have any interest now, Marcus, as far as spiritual things or Bible or religion? Are you interested in that, or do you just kind of feel like, you know what, I did that when I was young and I got out of this fundamentalist group and I'm kind of over that?
Um, as far as organized religion, I would say yes. Um, I mean, I am still very spiritualistic. I do believe in God, and I believe in a higher power.
Mm-hmm.
But
Marcus, we're losing you. Hello.
Jehovah, or listen to a man on a stage preaching, or anything like that. And it's between me and my heart, and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm kind of done with that whole organized religion and being regular in attendance in a place and giving contributions to God knows what. And yeah.
Well, you and me and about a million other ex-JWs feel the same way.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Now that a
This is
lot of us
crazy.
do, and that's okay. See, I'm getting to the point where I don't have to worry about what religion Marcus is or what religion Joe or Jim or anybody else is. I can just accept them for who they are. I can be friends or like
Right.
a person and not have to care, you know,
Mm,
and that is nice to just be able to have friends, whether they're gay or whether they're straight or whether they're married or single or atheist or religious. You know, it doesn't have to be a divisive force for us anymore. You know, and I like that.
right.
It's just I think a lot of people, just regular people, are that way
Mm,
anymore. They're just
right.
like, oh, okay,
Because I
cool.
have friends of all different backgrounds.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That is nice.
For you, it's okay. Yeah.
Hmm. So, Marcus, let me ask you this: Do you find yourself wanting
I
to?
accept everyone for who they are.
Okay, Marcus, I wanted to ask you one more question. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do
Okay.
you do you find yourself going on the Jehovah's Witness boards, or I should say that the X, Facebook groups or
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, Vimeo, all that stuff? Are you going on these, and then is that helpful to you, or is it something you think, oh, I'll do this for a while, but I'm not going to do this forever? Or, I mean, is that something that's helping you with your maybe connecting with people like me and other ex-witnesses?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because it makes you feel like. I mean, it makes me personally feel like I'm not alone,
Hmm.
and to see people's experiences, and it just keeps on reminding me and that I'm not crazy. I'm not the only one who seen the light, and I'm not the only one out there. It helps very much so, because hearing the stories and exchanging stories with people and seeing the connections, it all confirms my feelings toward the witnesses.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yeah, I make new friends talking to different people, and I do have a couple of ex Jehovah's Witness friends, and it's pretty cool.
It is, and what I've been doing too in the last couple of years is trying to go and do meetups occasionally, where we'll go and we'll
Hmm.
we'll barbecue and we'll just cook and we'll talk. we'll eat, we'll drink, and we'll visit, and it feels good, And we go camping once a year in Lake Tahoe, and we have about 40 or 50 of us that do that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's very good to be able to talk to other people. And then here with your situation, Marcus, is you're already getting out of this little like weird religion, right? So you're in this
Mm-hmm.
weird little kind of like small minority group. And then on top of that, if you're gay or lesbian or transgender or whatever, it's even a smaller fraction now
Right.
of people that
Mm-hmm.
are being, that are being treated or judged poorly. And it's like you gotta work through that, and hopefully, like you said, finding other people to talk to is a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. But it didn't happen overnight. It
Right.
took a while for me to get to that point. And but when I got to that point, it was beautiful, honestly.
Mhm.
I must say, because those thoughts of suicide and those should I go back or should I repent and go back and recant and
Mhm.
all of that. I mean, it just subsided and went right away. And yeah, I'm never looking back ever. Never going back.
Yay! Don't look back. And you know what? Look, if you want to throw around scriptural things, Jesus said to not look back. He said to look forward, and
Right.
Jesus also talked about how there would be divisions between fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters, and you know what? Unfortunately, it doesn't have to be that way. The witnesses themselves are the ones that impose those separations.
Exactly. Yes. Within families and friends, like I never had a worldly friend up until, I came out and all the other stuff. So yeah, it starts very young. Even when you're out, they tell the little kids in elementary school, don't hang out with the worldly kids and after school activities are bad and you'll
Hmm.
do bad things, stick with the witnesses and it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. But I really, Marcus, I appreciate your positivity. You have this friendly demeanor about you. You're smiling, you're happy, and I can tell that you appreciate where you're at now. And that's fantastic. That's very gratifying to me, and I hope it'll be gratifying. I know it'll be gratifying to the other XJW folks that watch these videos, because
Hmm.
we root for people like you and for people like me. When I went through my judicial committee meeting, people were rooting for me, and it helped me. And I got all kinds of good comments and feedback, and we need that. And now here you are, you're in a situation, you're in a relationship, you have family, extended family now, and friends that come in and take the place of these people that don't have true love for you anyway.
Right.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice.
It is nice. I mean, I'm happy. I'm going to say genuinely, for once, I'm happy. I actually have the truth of life. Basically, they claim they have the truth and all that. Well, I have my life.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Well, whenever I refer to the witnesses, I say it's the twoof. I said the witnesses have their twoof. So I can't say it the
Truth
regular way anymore.
twisted.
Yeah. I can't say it the right, because we know that we have our own truth, and that we can figure that out for ourselves. We're not dummies. We're not little kids. We don't need a governing body. We don't need an elder to tell us what's right and
Yeah.
wrong. We don't need them to tell us what's right and wrong. We figured it out for ourselves.
Hmm.
Nice, nice. And so you like the area you're living in. You like the move that you made. Was it very far from where you
Oh
were
yeah.
living?
Well, yeah. I used to live in Maryland.
Mm.
More particularly Laurel, Maryland. So, it's very nice. Well, that's basically where I grew up, Maryland.
Mhm.
So that's where my congregation was,
Mhm.
and because I would see, here and there, some of the witnesses that I used to, hang with and talk to, and that was difficult in the beginning. But I'm in a secure place here. I've seen a lot of. They are like the witnesses are getting very. like you said, desperate for guests and people to come in and to become witnesses because. I mean, in Delaware, there's stands everywhere. Like, you go out to the city, they have stands set up usually everywhere pretty much every Saturday and Sunday for free Bible studies. And,
Mm.
I'll drive by and just see them and just shake my head like, wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're selling it hard now, and they're promoting their website and all that.
And the whole
The
broadcasting
TV,
broadcast that
yeah,
they
their
have.
their Trinity Broadcasting Network, or JW Broadcasting Network, and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a crack up. It is a crack up. So, you know what? I think that's what happens as you distance yourself from that negativity. You can look back and you can laugh about it, and you can move forward and just move on, and that's what we're all trying to do. I think. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
for the
Well,
most part. And find normalcy.
yeah, yeah. You know what?
In
It's
life.
it's that stereotype of that. You're going to be this hate-filled apostate. And you're gonna want to hold a
Mm-hmm.
sign everywhere you go, and you're going to want to protest. Most of us aren't like that. We just want to live our lives and just
Pretty much, yeah.
enjoy our loved ones. You know. Yeah. Well, look, Marcus, I really appreciate you taking the time to do the interview. Maybe we can check back in on you and see how you're doing in the future. If anything huge comes up, let us know. But this
Okay.
this is this is a fantastic story. It's simple. It doesn't have to be a complicated story, but it's fantastic that
Right.
you got out of that and you're happy now and you're free of the judgments and all of that. And I for one think it's great. So thank you again.
Well, thank you for having me, and all your videos have been helpful, and and thank you for having me anytime.
Mhm.
This was great. I loved it. We had a little technical issues. This was great. Anytime you have like a panel or anything like that, I'm open and free. And if you want to talk about other things like maybe growing up, JW, in more detail or stuff like that, I'm here. And
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you for
That's
having me. It was a
that's a good
pleasure.
idea. That's a good idea about a panel eventually. I would like to do that sometime where we have more people
Right.
on and we're all talking together about topics like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea. In fact, I have to go now. I have a panel I need
Okay.
to start making. No. No, I'm joking. All right. Hey, take care, my friend.
The order is rapidly fading, for the times they are a changing.